Hello, welcome to the Brightspace introduction video for EMS207 2025-30 session. So this will be a short video describing how we intend to use the Brightspace subject site for EMS207 this semester. This is of course primarily an on-campus subject, so the majority of your engagement will occur through tutorials, which we expect you to attend, but we will provide resources and announcements through the site. The site may change in its form and function throughout the semester, but we'll keep you aware of that. I can tell you this is my first time using Brightspace since its implementation, so I'm still coming to terms with it as a subject convener, but if you spot any issues or errors or things that can be improved, just email myself or one of the coordinators, and we'll see what we can do to streamline the process. I can now confirm that all the material has been presented, and soon we'll have the lecture recordings available as well. So we should be in a good position to start. So when you land, let's of course begin. When you land, you will be presented with this particular page with many background slides with the Eiffel Tower. I'm sorry, I just could not be less interested in doing the design features in terms of imagery. I'm more interested in the content. The way I prefer this to be presented is the content tab up here. So if we just move across to this, I'll take you through this in sequence. Some things will be hidden from you, like the migration post, but there will be some components that you will focus on. So this is the welcome page. You can see this is still to be determined, so the staff may change, but you'll find the contact details for myself and the coordinators from the other sites. So I'll be the convener. We will have details confirmed, but you'll have your contact person for each campus on this page. The assessment task due dates for the two assessments in this subject are on the 27th of April 2025 for assessment item 1. There is no auto extension for this assessment because it is a group assignment in part. So just bear that in mind. And the second assessment item will be due on the 30th of May. This will have the 1 week auto extension available. The text is the current New South Wales Science and Technology syllabus. There are recommended readings, but this is the only mandatory one. And this is fortunate because it is of course free, so just bear that in mind. We won't go through the introduction video because I'm filming that right now. You're probably already there, but there is some information here on time allocation as well. It's expected that you will be engaging with this subject for about 13.5 hours per week. And this will be, assessment preparation, group work, attending tutorials, engaging in lectures and materials and those sorts of things. So it is a full-time load of study. The lecture recordings will be available here as well. You can see I've got the old lecture recording list from last year if you'd like to check it out. The 2025 lecture recording playlist will be coming soon. In fact, while I'm recording this, I have already recorded of all of the lectures. I just have to upload them onto YouTube with the university's better internet. They will all be released at once, so you'll be able to move between them on a week-by-week basis. You can skip ahead, you can do whatever you like with them, they'll all be there. There are full breakdowns of each assessment task. They will be week 8 part 2 and week 12 part 1. So if you're going to watch any of them, I recommend watching all of them, but I definitely recommend reviewing the assessment breakdowns where I talk through the marking criteria, the tasks and the templates as well. We have module readings here to supplement. You can check these out. They're aligned to the weekly schedule as well. It provides some basic tasks, some reading material and things of that nature. I think they're pretty helpful, although I would stipulate, just remind you that these are not graded. The only graded components in this subject are the 2 assessment tasks. So there are supplementary things here, but I would definitely prioritise the assessment tasks, attending tutorials, taking the advice of your tutors and working with your groups primarily, and seeing where gaps can be filled with this material as well. There will be key resources provided. We will have sort of material resources for each of the campuses. So your tutors will speak to you specifically, but Bathurst we have ours already uploaded through 12 weeks here. You'll be able to download those and we'll work through the activities together on those on the Bathurst campus. So yeah, it's a bit messy right now, but there will be something for every campus here. So this will provide you with your lectures, your modules and your tutorial materials as well. So try to stay engaged. I would consider this the main point of focus. I will be sending out weekly announcements as well that will take you through the expectations each week, which lecture to look at, what the activities and emphasis will be, and they should be linked. That's my intention. So let's look at some of the other features here on the site as well. I don't necessarily think we'll be using all of them. Hopefully we'll point to the things here that you don't need. So in terms of communication, we will be doing announcements. As a stock standard approach, I will be sending out an announcement to all campuses each week, but it will be the Friday before that week. So the week 1 announcement will be, in orientation week. The week 2 content will be delivered at the end of week 1. So on a Friday is normally when I'd send out the material for the next week. And that's so everyone has access to the lectures and those sorts of things, before any tutorials on the Monday. So my advice would be try to listen to the lecture during that weekend. They're recorded on YouTube. You can listen to them on your phone, do the dishes, do something else during them. It will make your tutorials more valuable because we can focus more on developing resources and materials rather than reiterating information from the lectures if possible. So I haven't sent any announcements yet, so hopefully I don't stuff it up, but they will be linked in and provided each week. We have a Zoom room function. I don't anticipate we'll need it. The last time we ever needed such a thing was during COVID in 2020. So I don't anticipate we'll need it. Discussion forums will be here as well. Look, we have ones for each student and each assessment task. They may or may not be used. Might use a few for Bathurst, but generally speaking, people tend to communicate in these on-campus subjects in tutorials and in direct emails. So it'll be there. We'll try to monitor it, but experience tells us that you probably won't use them that much. We may set up group functions to allow for direct communication to each tutorial group. So you'll enrol as you normally would, but we as your tutors may create groups just so that we don't have to email the whole cohort all the time. But the group learning will not occur here. The group learning will occur in the tutorials directly. So face-to-face is the model here. We have email-wide kind of things, but I anticipate we'll be primarily using the announcements feature and emailing directly as your tutors and lecturers and coordinators where possible. The assessment, we won't have quizzes and exams, and grade moderation is to be determined, but your assignments will be delivered here via the Assignments tab. We have 2 assignments currently. Assessment 1, we only have 2 assignments. Assessment 1 and Assessment 2. There are some limitations that actually quite, that I find quite irritating. With this particular, the functionality of this. So I'm just trying to see if I can get this to present. It's showing me the submissions. I'll go back to the edit feature just to show you what's actually in here, because what I'm seeing will be quite different. I'll probably have to use Google Drive to get around the limitations. The embedding of rubrics is really difficult. So currently I'm using the Word doc versions of things. I'll probably play around with just adding those into Google Drive submissions, because the current rubric tool with this particular bright space is quite restrictive. But if I just show you what will be presented to you, if I just edit the assignment. So it will have the information reiterated from the subject outline verbatim, so it's exactly the same, and the main attachments, the task, the rubric, the template. So download those as soon as possible if you can. At the moment this is hidden, so I should probably unhide that at some point so that you can... I'll check all this before. Actually, I might unhide them now. Yeah, I'll figure this out in my own time. So that's where you go for the assignments. Even though there is a group component of the first assessment task, the expectation is that every person will submit the group component and the individual component. So make sure everything that you're getting graded on at all, you will be submitting. That's the rule. The subject materials, a lot of this won't be used. So the CSU replay is not being used because I use open broadcast software and record things on YouTube, mostly because they're more accessible. You can access the link and use it on tablets and things like that, and I can embed them. Haven't played around too much with these other tools as of yet. I've got a calendar feature, although I think we'll probably rely primarily on this, the normal calendar. There's a copy of that in the resources there on the content slide. Your grades will be finalised here towards the end of the semester. Historically, we finalise those at the end, just so that we can fix errors and people can, seek out clarifications or challenge grades during the semester. That's the approach we typically take. The outline will be available here to you as well to download. I mean, you can see the mess that I've got here. I don't know why I've got so many of them, to be quite honest. But you will download a copy of that. Just make sure that you're familiar with the processes. I don't anticipate we'll use too much of the other stuff. The subject survey can be used here as well to evaluate the subject at the end, so we do hope that you'll use that. I don't think we'll be using Leganto, the library here, because the materials are actually embedded within the resources, the lecture recordings, the tutorials and the modules, so there won't be any real need for this, although it may give you some access to different resources like teaching primary science constructively and those sorts of things. So really the core focus here will be the content slide and the assessment slides. You will find in the general resources file some useful stuff as well. We will have the weekly schedule will be available here as well. There will be some recommended readings, some stuff on the 5Es and those sorts of things. The 2025 PowerPoint slides are already available here as well, in case you would like to check those out. A lot of this is hidden because we're still editing this material. We haven't confirmed who's teaching everything just yet. So some of this may be subject to change by the time you're reviewing this. Lecture recordings will, of course, be available. But if you're in any sort of jam, you can, of course, check out the Bathurst tutorial materials and the lecture PowerPoints. A lot of key information is presented there. But anyway, that's just a quick overview of how things will proceed on the site. But we hope to see you primarily in class and through emails, but we do have resources available here for you as well. There's quite a lot going on in the subject. Just remember, the only things that are graded are your assessment tasks. So if we focus on that and build everything in a backward map fashion to those assessments, that's how we'll find success in the subject for as many students as possible. Ideally, we want everyone passing if we can achieve it. But anyway, that's my quick introduction. Thank you for listening, and I know we're really looking forward to teaching you this upcoming semester.